going to go on right this now. Fade off of the watch hill. Off of the steep hill there, go down to Mama Babe there. Come off of the highway. This is there up on top. On top right now. I chop back this stick up here, you know? It's right off my youth. It's fucking right off. Completely. The engine drop out, dog. Okay.
JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now on to the news. INDECOM probing police fatal shooting on Mountain View Avenue. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is probing another fatal shooting by the police. Paul Casanova, otherwise called Pablo, the reputed leader of the Bayshore Park gang, was killed during a police operation on Mountain View Avenue on Wednesday morning. It's reported that at about 4:50 a.m., the police conducted a targeted operation at 72 Mountain View Avenue in search of Casanova, who was wanted for questioning in connection with the bloody turf war in the Bayshore Park community. He was fatally shot and a gun reportedly seized from him. The police allege that as a result of the turf war, Casanova fled the Bayshore Park community to Mountain View, where he had been planning on launching attacks against his rivals. Meanwhile, Acting Assistant Commissioner Michael Phipps, head of the Area 4 Police, has warned gang leaders and wanted fugitives to cooperate with the police and desist from engaging in confrontations with law enforcement. He said the police are determined to dismantle gangs as part of its anti-crime strategy.
We want them to know that we know who they are and we know what they are doing, and we will use the laws to disrupt their illegal activities. And of course, we will adopt a zero tolerance approach regarding them. The year have not been off to a very good start in terms of the number of violent crimes that we have been seeing. And our investigations have shown so far that the gangs are responsible for the current high crime wave that we are seeing across the Area 4 space. I would like to urge the gangsters to surrender and not to in any way challenge or resist if we come to arrest them.
2 men shot and injured minutes apart in Spanish Town. A delivery man and a truck driver have been shot and injured by unknown assailants in 2 separate incidents in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Monday night. Reports say that the first shooting happened around 8:15 p.m. The 22-year-old delivery man was walking along St. John's Road in the vicinity of the St. John's Primary School when he was pounced upon and attacked. 10 minutes later, the other shooting reportedly occurred in Trial Heights. The truck driver, 35, was shot and injured while at his gate. Both men were assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital for treatment. The police have not established a motive in either case. A probe is being done by the Spanish Town Criminal Investigation Branch. Meanwhile, a barber has been hospitalized after he was shot and injured by unknown assailants in Portmore, St. Catherine, also on Monday night. Reports are that at about 10:30 p.m., residents of Waterford heard explosions and summoned the police. Upon arrival, the 31-year-old was observed with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the lower body. He was assisted to hospital where he was admitted for his injuries. The Portmore Criminal Investigation Branch is conducting a probe in the matter. Police say robbery behind the shooting of 3 men near St. Catherine School. The St. Catherine North Police say robbery appears to have been the motive behind the shooting of 3 men in the vicinity of Tasha School in high school last Friday. The Minister of Education, in a press release on Saturday, expressed grave concern about the shooting incident near the school, which later spilled over onto the campus. The minister said students were promptly gathered in a central location for debriefing and emotional support before an early dismissal was arranged. Superintendent Upton Nicholson, head of the St. Catherine North Police Division, said the men were ambushed along the main road leading to the school. Superintendent Nicholson said the investigation is progressing and a person of interest in the case will be named soon.
Sometime during this week, we'll be telling the nation we will be providing a person of interest, which we have identified so far. Also, at this moment, we have a team at the school, along with educators, members of the Ministry of Education there. They are actually providing reassurance and counseling for students. Even though the incident did not happen at the school, we know the school, the proximity to where the incident happened, will have some effect on the school. And so a team is there reassuring persons, the school community and the community at large. We will be pursuing these persons, whether or not they are in St. Catherine North. We will be pursuing them, and wherever the chips fall, it will fall, and we will be bringing them to justice.
Superintendent Nichols urged people to be cautious when transporting large sums of cash, noting that this is the second such shooting linked to a robbery since the start of the year. The previous incident took place in Bogwalk, St. Catherine.
This is the second incident in the start of the year that robbery led to a major incident. The person who was killed in the Bogwalk space, the information is that he had a large sum of cash as well, and persons knew and they went for it, and in the process he got killed. That's the preliminary information that we have. So we appeal to persons, if you have large sums of money, of cash, do not go broadcasting it. Use smart means to transport it and take it to the bank and reduce the likelihood of being targeted as much as practicable.
School is not a fashion runway. Education Minister Senator Dana Morris Dixon is seeking to strike a balance in the niggling debate over what hairstyles should be accepted in schools, following the flare-up of the issue on Monday at McGrath High School in Treadways, St. Catherine. The male student, who allegedly was late for school, was prevented from attending classes because of the length of his hair and required to wait his parents' arrival to discuss the issue with school administration. Asked to address the issue by a journalist during Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House in St. Andrew, Morris Dixon sought to address the matter with diplomacy but left no doubt that education was the key focus in the issue.
So the grooming policy. I figured one of you would ask me about grooming, and I have the grooming policy here with me.
Wow.
I figured one of you would have to ask me. It's a perennial issue in terms of grooming. And I know that when I go to schools, a lot of students stop me and ask me about it, and they point to my hair. And I am a proud black woman who wears her hair natural. And I understand what hair means in our context. And I know this is broader than hair. But there are a couple things we have to balance, right? We have to balance order, something that we struggle with as a country, and we have to ensure that order is maintained in our educational institutions. And we also understand that as young people, they want to express themselves in different ways. And, it may be in hair, in dress, in other things. But the key thing we know is that school is not a fashion runway, right? School is about a place of learning. And for us, our focus is on learning in our schools and ordered learning in our schools. And so we have a grooming policy. We actually have another one that has been drafted, updated, based on, for example, one court case that we had. And that has been doing the rounds. It was circulated with the principals. It was circulated with the student council members. So the students have a voice with the churches. So everybody has been looking at this policy of grooming. And it's not an easy one, because I know as a young person, I thought the rules at school were too harsh. And I know a lot of young people will think that, rules can be harsh. But we have to make sure that the rules are fair. And we need to make sure that there is order in our schools. There's too much in order in our society. And our schools are very important for us to maintain order. But we understand that times change. Times change, and you have to look at things differently. And that's why we have the consultations ongoing. We have the new 2024 policy, which will become 2025 policy, which we're still getting feedback from the schools. And we will continue to dialogue and have the right approach, and it's right balance between order and getting our students to learn in school. We want them at school, and we want them to be learning in an orderly way. And we also want to ensure that we instill values around discipline and obviously, the hair issue or the grooming issue or just, the length of the skirt. Those are issues that for me are not the fundamental questions around learning. And we have to focus on learning while also dealing with our grooming policy. And I think we do have something and a well thought through approach, which is dialoguing with all of the players. Hopefully that helps you answer. I mean, there is no real, one answer for that question.
12 killed in 16 days by security forces, says INDECOM. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, is reporting that 12 people have been fatally shot by security forces so far this year. This is in comparison to the 13 people who were fatally shot for the entire month of January in 2023. The Commission provided the statistics while noting that it has launched investigations into 4 fatal shooting incidents which occurred between January 14 and 15. According to INDECOM, it commenced investigations into fatal shooting incidents in Wellington Town, Kingston, and Portmore, St. Catherine on January 14, while investigators launched probes into incidents which occurred along Mountain View in Kingston and Hopewell in Hanover on January 15. The deceased men have been identified as Akeem Chance, 23-year-old Alex Madden, 38-year-old Paul Casanova, and a 21-year-old Nyron Cameron, respectively. In each of the incidents, there was an alleged recovery of a gun. All 4 fatal shootings were reported to INDECOM as planned targeted operations, of which one of the incidents was a joint police and military operation. In that regard, INDECOM has noted a significant increase in planned operations where fatalities are occurring. All such operations involve organization, preparation, and scheduling. A loss of life by agents of the state requires objective records of the interactions. In the interest of accountability and transparency, it requires every effort to be made for security force personnel to be equipped with body-worn cameras, the Commission said. All accident scenes were examined, and the evidential material was recovered, processed, and packaged. The hands of the deceased men were all swamped for gunshot residue. The concerned officers provided initial accounts and were served with Section 21 notices pursuant to the Independent Commission of Investigations Act 2010 to submit statements and attend interviews, it added. INDECOM said planned operational interviews have also been scheduled with the operation team leaders. Billion fined $500,000 for ganja possession and introducing contraband into lockup. A man has been fined $500,000 for the possession of ganja and introducing contraband into a penal institution after he was caught smuggling cigarettes, tobacco, a lighter, a nail clip, and other items to inmates. 43-year-old Billion Williams, who worked as a guardsman at the lockup, was charged with possession of ganja, conspiracy to possess ganja, conspiracy to introduce contraband into a penal institution, and introducing contraband into a penal institution. Appearing before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday, Williams, who was found with 2.08 ounces of ganja, pleaded guilty to all charges except introducing contraband into a penal institution. However, due to insufficient evidence, it was discharged of the conspiracy charges. During the hearing, the prosecution revealed that Williams had introduced items including a lighter, cigarettes, tobacco, a nail clip, and other contraband to inmates. Judge Sanchia Borrell, in a sarcastic tone, commented on the inclusion of the nail clip, saying, "To think of the men in lockup doing manicures," but noted the serious implications of a lighter being brought into the facility. Judge Borrell emphasized that the sentencing was intended to deter others from introducing contraband into lockups. Williams was sentenced to pay a fine of $500,000 or spend 3 months in prison. Suspect charged in murder of Fostridge production manager. The police have made a breakthrough in the murder of the production manager of Fostridge Company Limited, Wayne Cephas, 61, was gunned down along Malines Road shortly after leaving work on December 19 last year. Detectives of the Criminal Investigations Branch say they have charged one of the suspects involved in the shooting. He is 26-year-old Damir McKenzie, a resident of Roberts Close in Kingston and the Portmore Lane, Bridgeport in St. Catherine. It's reported that Cephas was driving his Toyota Corolla Cross motor car along Malines Road when he stopped at an intersection near Torrent Drive. 2 men on a motorcycle intercepted the vehicle and opened fire, hitting Cephas. He lost control of his motor vehicle, which sped off in the direction of half a tree and collided with 2 other vehicles. He was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Following an investigation, Mackenzie was taken into custody and charged. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.